When your old career gives you lemons, throw in some ice, mix in some vodka, and call it a podcast. From the Mac of All Trades studio in Fairport and driven by Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, it's Billified, the Bill Moran Podcast.
Well, hello and happy St. Patrick's Day. So when we're recording this, we got Kevin in green. Matt, no green.
No green today.
No green.
No.
Just his breath.
Good, you know?
Yeah. And then we found Darren Wynne returning.
Absolutely useless he is. Colorblind. He actually thought that it was green this morning.
It was a rough night.
Was it?
No.
How about Saturday? Saturday rough?
Saturday was a little rough, yeah.
What?
Drinking those Lebec
You
green
got,
lights.
you got the pictures, right?
What?
Didn't you get pictures?
No.
From, what's her name? Why am I drawing a blank on her?
Oh, Laura?
Yeah.
No.
I didn't get
She
pictures
took
either.
like 4 or 5 pictures with us, and she said she was sending them to you.
Nope. Somebody got lit up enough that you forgot.
Yeah.
Well, where was this?
Shamrock Jacks.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did
I
see
saw a
your
picture
post
of you
saying
and
that
Natalie.
you had a great time
Yeah,
and
we
the
hung
DJ.
out for a while, yeah.
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 That's
We
funny.
were there for a while. That setup was amazing.
Well, the tent and all. Yeah,
They've never done one that big.
no, and
This thing was like a building.
they've jacked those prices of the tents way
I
up
can only
too.
imagine.
Yeah,
I
So
figured
that's
probably
why-
about 10 grand for that thing.
I don't know, but that's why I think they were charging this year, weren't they?
$20.
$20 to get
Yeah.
in, and then they also had a VIP section.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw Petsig.
That
Uh,
must have been a pre-sale only because they
I-
didn't
I
offer
think-
that at the door.
I think you're right. I think you're right, and he's kept. I saw some stuff on Facebook. I saw him like the week prior, because they also own the Mary Wee, which is the small Irish pub in
Guys that
Webster.
own Shamrock stuff?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
really?
They
I
just
didn't know
went. They just went and owned. I think that's awesome.
Who's that?
Why is she looking?
It's
one
Laura,
way? Why is
who's
she
been
looking
on
two
the
different
pod every
ways?
once in a while.
She's looking left and right at the same
a
time.
couple too many beers.
Wait, her eye looks like she got a black eye, didn't she?
Matt,
No, not Matt. Definitely not Matt. We already
Too many
got that-
pictures of me and her boyfriend got mad. I don't know.
But it was a good time out
We had
there.
a great time.
Yeah.
It's packed.
you got to get a blue light Christmas tree that they got that Jameson,
Should,
that
right?
Jameson tree.
I was gonna go back.
Save them all from all throughout
You
the
know
year.
they did that for a woman that worked there and died.
What?
She had started that idea, the Jameson tree.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
she was collecting all the bottles. So when she passed away, they continued to do it to build that for her, which is really cool.
Yeah, it
I
is.
feel like
cool.
in a year's worth of time, you could put enough bottles back that you
Definitely.
could get that built.
I
Nice
know.
8-footer.
So we
But I can
call
do it by
those
Christmas.
ladies the equator.
The
With-
equator?
with the kind of weird eyes.
Oh yeah, why?
One blue east and one blue west.
Darren, we've missed you.
Bill, I haven't missed you at
Well,
all.
all right, so let's say this. We talked about St. Patrick's Day. Big deal down at Shamrock Jack's. Big deal over here at Mulconry's.
That's that Irish bar across the
Yeah,
road.
yes.
What's it called? Damien's the owner? Is it?
Damien is the owner.
Such a-
Packed all the Irish bars on
Yeah.
East Avenue too.
Yeah, and all the Irish bars on East Avenue.
Unbelievable.
What's the biggest misconception Americans have about St. Patrick's Day and how Irish people really
So-
celebrate?
I feel that the Americans think that we actually don't celebrate St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
So if you had went on today at about 9 o'clock this morning to the Temple Bar live webcam, you would have seen Temple Bar pub in Dublin absolutely
Jam.
jammed,
Yeah.
like outside.
Yeah.
That's just outside.
9 a.m. their time or our time?
9 hour air time. So they're already starting like so right now.
They
'cause the
started
time-
yesterday.
Yeah, well, it's a holiday. It's a bank holiday in Ireland
Yeah.
today. So they take off. They're off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then sometimes they'll go back to work on
Holy
Tuesday.
shit.
That sounds like when Bill didn't have kids living here.
Wow.
So like for me, like when I come over here, like it's like, you know, it's very Americanized.
Yeah.
Like people don't think that we celebrate St. Patrick's Day.
See, I always thought it was more almost like a religious holiday.
It is
in
a, it is a
Ireland.
holy holiday,
Yes, a holy day.
but the Irish go, yeah,
But- and
let's
I
go
thought-
drinking.
Because my brother said that
Jesus turned wine to the Jameson, or
Oh,
water to Jameson.
Jesus. Name de Patrick, the Spirit of Santos.
he said they went to Dublin, but Dublin has become like a city that's got a lot of influence from around the world. So
Yeah.
there was a big party. But I thought like in places where my family wasn't all, you went to church.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Some people still go to church
Yeah,
in those
yeah.
rural areas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's called the
But
bar.
That's
Well,
where-
then they go right to the bar
and
afterwards.
The bartender is now the priest. You
Yeah.
say you give your confession
This
to him,
is-
and he just gives you a pint of Guinness.
I always think the Irish people look at Americans and think, yes, just as St. Patty wanted. But I guess they don't look down on us a little bit with the way we celebrate St. Patrick's Day.
No, I think it's a very. I was saying this the other day to a kind of group of friends that we were out with. I was like, it's kind of like now a DEI holiday.
Yeah.
Diversity, equity, inclusion, because everybody wants to be Irish on St. Patrick's Day. Only 7.4 billion.
They're gonna cancel it then.
Don't say anything.
Did you know that there's a whole memorial in Lower Manhattan?
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Yeah.
My son.
It's right beside Battery Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's Irish. They brought over. It's called the Hunger. I think it's
not the Hunger Games.
not the Hunger Games. I think it's called the Hunger Memorial.
Yeah, that's right.
It's the Hunger Memorial. I didn't even know this existed. My son sends me a video today because he was going to the parade, and then he loves to go to Little Ireland, which is up in Yonkers,
right?
Which is kind of outside New York City. But he was all excited, and I never knew this existed. And it is soil. It's built on like a cement platform, rolling hills.
Exactly
is what it looks like, and it's soil from Ireland.
Yeah.
And it's all to the people who came over for the
That's
potato.
cool.
I never knew it was there.
Commemoration of the Great Irish Famine.
Yeah.
Irish Hunger Memorial.
Yeah.
I was there actually probably about 10 years ago.
So it's been around. How did I never know?
It's not far from 9/11.
No, it's
No,
not that. It's right beside.
We get
Battery
all our
Park.
memorials.
Get them all
in
right
one
in line.
spot. You can keep
Wow. Memorial tour.
Bill,
The memorial
jeez.
tour.
Go do the tour. That's
A walking memorial tour
yeah. But your brother owns a pub in London,
in Wembley.
in Wembley.
Yeah.
Now, how are they? Because there was always a little bit of with the Southern Ireland and
Jeez, Bill, you have
and
to
the
bring that back up again.
and the Brits. A little bit.
Yeah.
Even to the point where I think there's some whiskeys, like there's Protestant whiskey versus Catholic whiskey.
So Jameson is an Irish whiskey.
Yeah.
Catholic whiskey.
Yeah.
And then the one that's up in Portadown, it'll come to me in a second. They're a Protestant whiskey.
Yeah.
And there's a battle between Bushmills.
Bushmills. Yeah.
That's the one.
It's a Protestant whiskey. And so like it's a big deal in Ireland. I don't know if the rest of the world is even aware, but
yeah, it's still going on like to this day.
Mm.
Even like Celtic and Rangers played just this weekend in Scotland in the Scottish Premier League,
okay.
and Rangers beat Celtic. I think it was at Celtic Park, and they lost 3-2. And the guy scored the goal, and he went up and he just done this, like isn't shh.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still a thing.
Really?
Yeah.
No, there's no what the war itself is pretty much.
Oh, it's pretty much gone.
Yeah.
Like, but
well,
there's
most
still-
people.
there's still people around, wink wink, nudge nudge,
Yeah.
like speaking in dark corners and
Mm.
smoke and mirrors and all that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
So
Well, is Gaelic still? Is that coming back? I always feel like whenever I hear Gaelic, I go, I wonder if they're like
the
IRA members.
the language is actually it's starting to catch on a lot more with some of the younger people in Ireland, and they're doing a lot now more with singing more kind of like there was a great song that I heard a group from Galway covered Avicii Waves and ended up like singing it in Gaelic.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I actually saw it about 2 years ago, and I said, "Oh, that's brilliant,"
Yeah.
because like they're trying to make it a little bit more kind of authentic with the younger people.
Well, they teach it here at some of the area high schools.
Yeah.
You can take Gaelic as an elective.
I know down in Syracuse on Tip Hill, they actually some of the Irish high school or like schools will teach it.
Yeah. So there's one I know of in our area, and then my oldest son's been trying to learn it through Duolingo or whatever.
Yeah.
He went up to Little Ireland and he goes, "Those guys put me to shame. I couldn't."
So I gotta actually send you a very, very good video. There's a guy, an Irish actor, used to be in a show called Father Ted. I
Okay.
don't know if you ever seen that. None of these.
Father Ted.
Father Ted, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's on BritBox. Maybe it's one of those apps that you can get on Amazon. And the guy who is the lead priest, right? His name is Father Jack.
Okay.
So all he does, he hears clanking of bottles, like you hear this, and he's like, drink, fuck, drink. He's like so old, he's retired, like, but that's all he says. So he actually was in a commercial about this Chinese guy learning Irish.
A Chinese guy learning Gaelic, really?
Gaelic,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So he comes
Hurrah,
over.
you bloody bitch.
So he comes over and he's asking for a job, and the guy from Dublin has no clue what he's saying. Like he's speaking to him in Gaelic, and it's just a skit.
Yeah.
But like the guy's name is Frank. He's sitting at the end of the bar, and he turns around and he goes, he's like talking to him in Irish, and the two of them are going back and forth. So they're saying like, oh, like we all speak English here.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah.
he's like, Berla is English. It means English in Gaelic. So he's like, Osquelic and Berla.
Yeah.
And they're like, Berla. And he's like, yeah. He says, no one understands me. He's like, you can see all the subtitles. I gotta send it to you.
That's pretty funny.
It's absolutely hilarious.
Because I remember as a kid, the only word my
So,
grandfather.
hold on. Let me finish.
Yeah.
So the bartender's like, do you want a drink? Like, do you want a drink? What can I get you?
That's the best.
Right? So the guy turns around and goes, says to the other bartender, he goes, Jesus, I didn't know Frank can speak Chinese.
I remember as a kid, my grandfather taught us one phrase in Gaelic, which was "kiss my ass," "pogue my home."
Pogue Mahone.
Yeah, pogue my
Greatest
home.
saying
And
ever.
He used to say that. He used to tell us to say that to go in and tell grandma, "Pogue my home."
Pogue Mahone. Yeah,
Yeah.
she probably hit you.
But his
with one
parents
hand.
were from Ireland, so there was probably he knew all that stuff. That
Unbelievable.
was it.
So when you say it's been Americanized, how did we fuck it up?
Well, we can be
Great
here
question.
for how long is your show, Bill?
Oh,
Like,
well, let's hear it.
Just give us the a little small
well,
version.
obviously, like you guys think that Ireland doesn't celebrate it. We do. You actually think that you guys could probably drink us Irish under the table. You can't. And then like, when it comes down to like Irish, like we go on a 4-day bender.
Yeah,
I
Did that last weekend.
I saw an Irish friend of ours who actually ended up. He told me he was going out to Shamrock Jack's Sunday morning, and then all of a sudden I see a picture. He's behind the bar helping out because they got so slammed
Yeah.
Sunday, and it's Peter Mulconry. But Peter said to me, I saw him. I go, Peter, I haven't seen you in a while. He goes, I just come off a 16-day bender. I feel
16 days?
I feel so refreshed, and I was like, oh, you know what? I know that sounds ridiculous, except I know Peter. And
Well, listen,
it very well could be. I've never seen anybody drink an entire bottle of Jameson within
no.
24 hours other than him.
Well, I don't think my plastic liver could actually handle 16 days, but
Yeah,
that's rough.
it is rough. I think they've done studies.
I've done like 3
3 days.
3-day bender.
That's
Really?
even a lot. 16 is nuts.
Yeah, that's
who
that
knows?
could,
I
that
mean,
could be
look,
a
I'm
world
thinking he's
record.
probably exaggerating a little bit, but
I did 4. I thought I was going to die.
I've seen Peter do some
Sure.
I've seen Peter drink almost an entire bottle of Jameson, and you wouldn't know he was drunk. Now we were all drunk, so maybe
He
that
spoke. The only reason you knew is he was speaking perfect English.
No, it's just
He's
like
probably
he
speaking Gaelic.
never got wobbly, right? Do you know people like that
No.
that just don't kind of lose their
Yeah, I got a couple of buddies that don't matter what they could drink 20 beers, they're fine.
yeah.
At least you
Hi,
think
friends.
they are. Yeah,
At least
I could do 20, but these guys can do even more than that. It's
yeah.
insane.
What was your longest? You ever?
I think we counted them out a couple Florida trips
This is
ago. I
fucking
think it was
phenomenal.
32 one day that we all did each.
32 each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And now,
know, I know when I was playing professional soccer back in Ireland,
yeah.
we went away for my birthday to Spain. And I think that the longest we went without actually any sleep and just continuously drinking was 3 days.
Wow,
With no sleep.
Yeah.
that's impressive.
I think I'd pass out.
Wow. Few of the
Because you're
lads
a
did.
pussy.
It almost sounds like torture to me at this age.
But
I
if
go,
you,
"That's
you,
it a
you
little
drink
bit."
yourself sober
Yeah,
as
that-
you go along, like,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you gotta have the right people with you. If you've got the right people with you, 3 days is nothing. If you're just pounding drinks,
Right.
but
or,
you got to stick. You can't go beer, liquor, beer. You got to go
No.
beer or liquor.
yeah, I would have to go beer.
You can't change it
I'd
up.
have
no,
to go
you,
there.
yeah, if you would do that, you'd be a puddle on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did you go in Spain?
A place called Mallorca.
Okay.
It's one of the islands just in the
Just-
Mediterranean.
yeah.
Mediterranean,
Yeah.
and there's a place called Santa Ponza. So it's kind of funny. Like when we went there when I was like 18, I think 19. We went back when I was 21, 22, and there was a club called BCM. That was the big nightclub, massive nightclub in Magaluf, which is the capital of the island. And it said, what do you call it? No dogs, no Irish.
No.
And I was like, I went up to the bouncer and I was like, what's the story with that fucking sign? And he goes, well, it's been here for 15, 20 years. And he goes, which one are you? And I says, I'm the dog, 4 legs. Wink.
Well, the Irish, I always thought now a popular spot is Portugal.
I think any place other than Ireland is a popular sport.
Just the weather's always right. It's pretty dreary.
Yeah,
for the most part.
Like to be fair, it's been like I was talking to my mom today, and she was saying like it's really cold.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, it was 20 degrees Celsius here the other day.
Yeah,
we had the windows open in the house. I was like, God, this is lovely.
Yeah,
it's back finally.
Yeah. Right,
some sun,
and then
today it was like
and it's supposed to snow next week too.
Yeah, but
is it really?
I think tomorrow
70 again.
It's
70 again.
I think it's 70 by Wednesday.
Yeah.
Killing my joints.
Is the patio open yet?
No. You know what's funny is like people on Thursday wanted to go out there.
Of course they did.
They're out there for 5 minutes
and then come right
it's
back.
colder than we thought.
Yeah,
get your ass inside.
Yeah. And is there music still playing out there now?
There
too?
is.
Yeah.
There is.
Screw these guys.
Yeah. Let them get
Too much.
There's a few that made it out there a few hours, but good for them.
If I walked into an Irish pub, or I should say, if Kevin walked into an Irish pub, this is one of Kevin's favorite drinks. Is he ordered an Irish car bomb?
Oh Jesus!
No, I read an article. They call them Irish slams over there now.
Okay, what would happen?
So I think I told you this story before.
Yeah.
I was dating this girl from Buffalo.
Yes,
and she was in Dublin, and that's how we kind of met. And we ended up going to a nightclub, bar kind of nightclub, and she was like, "Oh, let's do Irish car bombs." And I was like, "Whoa, you can't say that around here." Like literally, the IRA bombed like one street over, back in the 80s. I says, "You can't say." And the guy turned around, he looked at her, and I says, "It's all right, she's American." So that's like, seriously,
it is a thing.
I was at the parade on
slams.
I read an article yesterday because it said reasons you shouldn't order an Irish car bomb, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be a great article. It's like you're going to get cancer, some shit. It was talking about the bombings,
yes,
and how most bars won't serve it. Some have kind of come around, but they call it an Irish slam now.
Right.
So I was actually down just outside Salinger's, and there was a group of guys around. Like, "Oh, do you want to go do an Irish car bomb?" And I just looked at them. And they were like, "Wow!" And I was like, "Never mind."
See, America fucks everything up.
Well, we just don't get it because we've never had like the thing that I.
It's like going to New York City and ordering a 9/11.
Okay, yeah, it is. It is like that, but because we've never really had anything where all of a sudden we're walking down the street and mysteriously, here comes Uncle Joe's arm flying because somebody car bombed him. That was
more like it wasn't Uncle Joe, it was Uncle Paddy.
So we never had that stuff, and I don't think that people make the connection. It's just meant a fun thing. It's naive, right? I think they're more naive than anything. I would say it's done. I would say innocence, but ignorance would be the right word.
I would have to agree with you.
Yeah, it's ignorance for sure, and it's not meant to be malicious when people do it. But I remember my grandmother would get so mad. Yeah.
Oh no, I would agree. Like I even stopped this girl. I was like, "You can't say that."
No.
She's like, "Why?" And she's like, "We have them all the time back in America." You're in Ireland.
I'm surprised that they
Irish
haven't
car
changed that here though.
It's like trying to order a Bud Light at a Irish pub.
I don't know that people really know out of all the wars in the world, we never really learned in American history anything about the North-South Ireland War.
And one of the things growing up was like,
and it was still going on.
Yeah,
by the way, when I was growing up
was like we learned about all of the wars in the world. Growing up, like the American Civil War, like the North and the South. But I also watched that on the show as well. That was another thing that my mom used to like. But like I learned about everything. And it, like back over here, it's just the American history.
Yeah, it's American history. Or sometimes you'll get some, the dynasties of China and Asia, right? Yeah. The Roman Empire, things that happened in Italy. You get some World War II. You never really learned. And I think part of it was still going on when I was in school. Like I do remember guys coming over here and they would say there was a group. And I remember asking my parents, and I think they pretended they didn't know what I was asking. But I thought there was a group called the Westies that lived there. There was an Irish mafia basically in New York City that funded a lot of the war. And they did some brutal stuff. Like allegedly when they caught somebody, they had cut off a guy's hand and kept it in the freezer. So whenever they would commit a crime or a murder, they would wrap his hand around the gun and then put it back in the freezer.
Those Irish are absolute geniuses.
That is genius.
We invent Guinness.
mob
and then
never
we
thought
The
just
of
more
that.
you drink,
put
the more
people-
fucked up ideas
Exactly
you
right.
The New York City mobs never thought of something that smart.
No, I don't know. Maybe they did. I don't know. I just remember reading about that, and there was whole books in the Westies, and they were like this very low key, man. People, they didn't raise a lot of attention to themselves.
No one batted an eyelid, and then all of
Yeah,
a sudden,
right,
then you
but then-
fuck up, then
yeah,
you're
yeah,
getting battered.
That's exactly it.
That's I like those kind of people.
All right, we'll take a moment. The big thing coming up is the NCAA tournament, and there's some controversy with it. Now, Darren is an NCAA soccer coach or football coach, as we
Yes.
should say. Division.
We're actually not NCAA. We're
Oh.
USCAA,
Okay,
which is a smaller colleges conference.
Yeah.
National conference.
but I'd love to. I'm sure you're familiar with whatever the controversy I'm going to bring up with UNC.
North Carolina.
Yeah. And just
Didn't they get in?
They
Yeah.
they
gotta
did,
play in.
but there's a little bit of a they got to play in. And should we be upset about the 68th overall team? I don't know, except that it doesn't look good.
It looks really bad.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say it doesn't look good. Matt says it's really bad. I would have to say he's probably right. But we will get into a little bit of that as the and I just want to say this: you're going to watch the game over 50 TVs in one spot, BTB. You get those Italian disco fries,
That's right.
which I had never heard of, and I was so excited when I saw the title. I go, where did this come from?
Fuck is a BTB?
It's the place he runs out in Greece.
Yeah, it's a restaurant in Greece.
Yeah.
Sports bar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
Right at the Greece Ridge Mall.
Oh, is that the where? What was the name of the place before that?
Hooligans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard some great stuff, but we actually had food out there last year.
Oh, nice.
It was really good.
Good.
The Italian disco fries covered in mozzarella, vodka sauce, and pesto. That I like pesto. I was like, that sounds great.
Can you do something with Guinness?
Yeah.
There's an Irish touch.
Just got to make sure it's not something we Americanize.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna send out an survey monkey
Didn't
to
you-
find out.
Did you do a at one point? I thought there was like some kind
Guinness,
of
something.
yes, that it was soaked in Guinness and it just
I don't remember
Like,
what it was.
yeah,
There
Guinness
was
steak or
something,
something.
get a steak or something.
There was
you guys
something
did.
wild.
Yeah. The hurry up and get here spring salad. I love the name. Romaine, strawberries, grapes, sunflower seeds, red peppers, feta cheese, and cucumbers. Have you had that?
I have not.
Dude, he's never had a salad. What are you
First
talking
week I ever
about?
had a salad.
He's actually a Caesar salad guy. Believe it or
love
not.
it. I actually
The
do
only
like
thing he
salad.
said had Caesar was watching a movie with Gladiator or something. Come on.
But even just the simple things, like tonight we just got a grilled chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
They do that fantastic.
Well, the
too.
grilled chicken sandwich, but they add the nice touch. There's like delicious thick cut bacon.
Well,
on
I had
there.
that for you.
That is so good. And then salmon, sweet chili glazed salmon served over a rice pilaf, served with asparagus.
No, I haven't
Sounds-
had that one either.
Sounds delicious.
Me neither.
And then, are you going to be obviously? What time are you opening on regular time? Right?
Yeah.
What is
Yeah,
it? Tip off?
We
at
open 11, so
noon?
yeah, noon's not till 12 or 12:15 for the first
Thursday?
game, so we're good.
When is this?
Yeah.
Thursday?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because you got playing games tomorrow and Wednesday.
Yep. And then
Right.
Thursday starts the real tournament.
The real deal.
Yep.
All right, we will get into a little discussion about UNC and what's going on, and should the NCAA get to all that right after this. The late Shane McGowan and the Pogues.
What a legend.
Yeah.
Should be knighted in Ireland. Sainted. Absolutely sainted.
He just was a hard-living dude, huh?
Dude, he had like so many teeth missing out of his mouth.
It was,
Like it was really bad.
yeah.
From fighting or just bad denture
I
care?
don't know, just either. Must have been either. Both.
It's just, he was just, it was a mess.
It was an absolute shocking.
He lived to 65 years old.
Yeah, surprised actually.
I
lived that long.
was sorry to say. That is what I thought, the same thing.
Who lives harder, that guy or Keith Richards?
I think Keith is more myth nowadays. I think Keith did a lot of stuff, and I also think that they have found some in the UK and more of the Celtic countries, I guess you could say. They have found that people there's some enzyme or something that they process liquor differently.
In Ireland?
Yeah, in Ireland, some in England. So like he's asking about Keith Richards, Keith Richards would tell you he would almost not sleep for a week. They would just
That's a guitarist, right?
Yeah.
It's the wrong stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So for the Stones, and he would be, but would just go on these. You talk about a bender. Okay.
Are you?
You're
What's
not,
going on?
you're
You
not
blowing up
started
there,
on the
fella?
cameras either.
No, the cameras went off
Okay.
because I went to turn this off because it's a family text thing, and now every asshole's got a. I shouldn't say asshole because I love them all, but it was going off, and then it comes to the iPad and it comes to the phone, and it's ridiculous after a little while.
That was like our group chat this morning when my brother sent all those text messages, all the pictures of that Irish bar that he works in, lives in, and owns in Wembley. So if you ever get a chance to go to Wembley,
Yeah,
it's not only a great what do you call it? How would you say? English area for sport, because they have loads of different tournaments there, but they also do concerts at Wembley Stadium. There's an Irish bar called the Crock of Gold.
okay.
And you can go there and you can tell Jason that Darren sent you over, and he will obviously give you a pint of Guinness on the house.
I am,
Or he'll punch you in the face. depending
One
on
or the
how
other.
he
He'll
feels
probably
that day.
kick in the balls. So, like, you just don't know.
the NCAA March Madness. Probably is it the greatest sports tournament that we can think of in America?
In America, yes.
In America. I mean, I love it, and I don't really follow college basketball, but I was watching some stuff, and I thought I had some thoughts on this whole. I don't know if we call it a debacle, but you said it looks terrible. The Tar Heels getting in with the 68th overall. They did give Duke a run. I only saw maybe one game this year. They took Duke deep. That was about it.
Wasn't that the last game of the season where they actually like done
Yeah.
The
The last game of the season, then they played again. in the
lane
tournament,
violation?
too. Yeah.
And the kid stepped on the what?
So this whole thing has
Trade him. Trade that kid straight away.
No more scholarship for you.
No, dropped 30% minus.
But there's major controversy because many believe they were on the tournament bubble, and then all of a sudden they get into the actual tournament. And so when we look at this, I think the athletic director was on the selection committee, or might have been the head of the selection
He's on the
committee.
board, or he's in charge of the board.
Right. And so if they make it into the tournament, which is this considered making it into the tournament?
Yes,
It's the
they
68th? It
consider
is. Okay. That gets him like $76,000 more dollars. And if they go certain point in the tournament, which could happen. I mean, they're not.
76.
I thought it was 70. Oh, no, 67 for making the tournament, 100K. Thank you.
100K.
It's
Yeah,
my
but
dyslexia.
What's that
kicks
in
in.
I thought it was
as a
100.
coach? What's that in an athletic department budget of a major D1 school?
So let me stop you right there for a second. Before we want to talk about dyslexia. Did I ever tell you about the dyslexic guy who walked into a bra? No.
I'm kidding. I just seem to do that a lot with numbers, like reverse them in
Yeah.
my memory. Because I said 76, it's 67. I knew those
It
were
kicks
the
into
two.
100 if they win.
If they win,
tomorrow.
if they for a deep run. No, I thought it had to be a
okay.
deep run, but I don't know what that is. Is that the Sweet 16? Is that the Elite 8? I don't know what a deep run would be considered.
So I
maybe
know-
Sweet 16.
But I mean, football was getting $1 million for each round of the football playoffs they made.
No, this is just him personally, not the
Just
whole
him.
team.
Oh,
no,
just the AD?
this is him.
Him
the-
personally.
The athletic
Was
director.
it like a
has
bonus
nothing to
structure
do
in his
with any of
contract or
this.
something?
But yet he's on the board. So how's that fair to have these guys on the board?
Okay. So that's the great question. And somebody else said, look, I know this guy. He's a great guy. He was the athletic director, was in Indiana prior to coming to UNC. And then the guy threw a whole bunch of shade on, like, don't tell me. He goes, there's a lot of backroom deals made with this over the years.
But it's a board. It's not like it's one guy saying, yeah, we're in and screw everybody else.
Well, if he was the president of the board, wouldn't you
Yeah.
not think that he would not have a vote when it comes to his own team?
So that's what they said.
Because like when I want to recommend a player to All-American, I can recommend him, but I can't speak about him.
Okay. So I think he is not allowed. I think they put up North Carolina and he has to either leave the room or he can't do anything. But the question becomes, what kind of influence does he have? He's on the committee. I thought he was the head of the committee, man.
I think he's the head of committee too.
Yeah, I thought I had read he's the head of the committee.
Does it say who they bumped?
The rules require him to it would be like Indiana could have got in. I think there were some West Virginia.
His former school.
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
I think it was.
But I feel like it's more that cachet of
well deserved it over North Carolina.
But it's that cachet of North Carolina. Who's going to watch West Virginia versus who's going to watch North Carolina?
It doesn't matter. The quad one records are say it all. They only beat one quad one school.
Yeah, they did.
And the other ones beat 4 or 5.
Right.
So they should have been in easily over them.
So how much are we rooting for them to not even to
I'm
lose?
never rooting for that shitty team.
But
so it'd be like me rooting for the Eagles. It ain't happening.
But you know, the funny thing is, like obviously from an Irish perspective, looking back, like the two big teams that you would look at were the Yankees for baseball and the North Carolina Tar Heels.
Yeah,
back in Ireland because of Michael Jordan.
Really? Okay.
So those were like, Tar Heels.
Right.
So, but like for me, like I didn't even know who Duke was. Like growing up, it was until I got involved with basketball, and from there, then was able to know all of these college programs.
That's interesting because you're right. I don't remember Duke being that big.
They weren't until the late
The 92.
80s.
So until they're like early 90s. I mean, Christian Laettner, and then they started really getting some high profile
they went
guys.
91, 92. They went back to back. That was the first team in 30 years to do it. But before that, they had lost like 4 or 5 Final Fours.
Yeah,
I think, and they weren't very good. Other than those few years, they were terrible.
How do you remember all this shit?
I don't know. I can't remember yesterday. But
No, but I mean, that's like amazing.
Well, I just watched a documentary last night. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
All right. Fucking cheater.
But
listen, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. That's what my assistant coach always says.
Cooper Flagg he's
a little banged up.
He's banged up, and I feel like this is a ploy. And you tell me as a coach yourself, if you've got a star player who you probably don't need to play in the early part of this tournament because your team did win without him. I think they won their.
So I think Duke is playing like Quinnipiac.
Yeah,
Quinnipiac didn't make it.
They're playing
Quinnipiac.
They're playing tomorrow.
They didn't.
No, they
didn't
lost in their conference.
It's
tournament.
to play in tomorrow between America and somebody else. So this is a 1 against 16. So he really shouldn't play in this first game.
Right. In the first game. But that kid is like a phenom, man.
If his ankle's that bad, then he should rest the first game. And the second game, I would sit him on the bench until you absolutely say, okay, we need you.
Yeah.
If you can get by the first week without using them, you get a whole week of rest.
Have you already filled out your brackets?
No.
Okay. Who do you see?
I used to do a bunch of them. I don't.
I did it at work today.
Yeah, I was thinking I want to film out. A lot of people are picking Florida.
Florida's got a solid team.
Yeah, like they'll be cutting down the
They've
nets.
got a guy like 8'1" or 8'2" that hasn't even seen the floor all year. That's how good they are.
What?
Yeah, it's huge. Auburn's good. Auburn is I think the oldest team in this whole championship thing. They've been around together more than usual. You know, usually these guys are one and done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
These guys have stuck it out. That's the nice thing. I was watching that documentary last night and seeing guys that stayed 4 years that could now easily go to the NBA after 1 year. But back then they all went 4 years.
Yeah.
It was a lot more fun then. Now the one and done, it's ruined college basketball.
I wish Foodie was here just so I could tell him my picks so he'd throw something at me.
Why was
I went with St. John's.
To win it?
I mean, St. John's.
Rick Pitino.
It's Pitino. He's been there. He beat Syracuse, right, with Kentucky. He did it with St. Louis, I think.
He's got him believing.
He does.
They played great. 30
their
wins this year.
Defense is,
Yeah.
that's where he's big. I remember reading his book. He wrote a book, motivational book years ago called something with win in the title. But his punishment when the guys weren't, he had to hold bricks, one in each hand, and side shuffles from one black line to the other
That
black
sounds marvelous.
line. It sounds
I
horrible.
think I might actually have to bring that into my soccer.
Well, that's what I'm wondering.
You know, and the lads like suck like on the football field. I'm just like, here, listen, grab that concrete slab over there. We're doing side to sides.
We're doing some landscaping today.
What does that mean, coach?
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna know.
Well, they don't call me coach, they call me gaffer.
Why?
Because that's just the slang from back in Europe. It's like,
Gaffer?
hey, gaffer.
Okay.
Gaffer means like the boss.
Yeah.
Like so when I was growing up and I played pro, Laurie Sanchez, who used to actually play for Wales and he played for Wimbledon back in the day, like he was my gaffer. So
Okay.
like they were like, I was like, do we call him Laurie? Like when I first joined the team, do we call him Laurie or Mr. Sanchez? Don't fucking call him Mr. Sanchez.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
you're calling him gaffer. Like that's it. Call him gaffer. So like we ended up calling him gaffer.
How many years did you play professionally?
About 12.
As a goalie?
Goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper.
In bits now. Like a bag of Legos. In bits. Everything hurts.
I'm sure.
Yeah, like I've had both my hips replaced.
Already?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's all the riding I was doing, but no, my joke. It's all the landing on the because like goalkeepers
sure.
are different.
It's all the
Constantly
salad
landing on
you
it.
You're
Yeah.
just landing on it all the time, even in training. Like I was training our goalkeepers today for the college team, and we were talking about like, you know, I was talking about his technique, you know, diving with two hands, diving with one hand. And he was like, oh, it's like over in Germany, because he's a German keeper. He says, we're taught how to dive with two hands. I says, you just have to make that judgment yourself. It's not like, this is how you have to do it. There's like a little bit of leniency on both sides. So, yeah, but like diving on the ground, like I had him diving all over the place today. I must have had him probably hitting the ground like 500 times each side in his left and right hip.
Really?
Have you met Billy Andracki?
Oh, I know Billy, yeah.
He's
I know
good,
Billy,
he's
yeah.
good.
Yeah, Billy's a good mate of mine.
But so when you have your hip replaced, what was happening? Like, could you hardly
I
walk?
couldn't even sit down.
You couldn't sit down.
I
Really?
was driving like this. Like
Yeah.
on one side of my hip.
Yeah.
Like the good hip, that was the one I was leaning on.
Wow.
Yeah, and I got it done, and then I was like, oh my God, I'm like literally painless.
It's crazy, isn't it?
But like, it's probably also the amount of hydroxycodone they've had to give it and morphine. But to be fair, about 4 days later, it was actually pretty good. Like just being able to sit in a chair.
Matt
and not have to
had
keep worrying about.
a bad thing happen, bringing the garbage back up.
Yeah.
Right, just that thin little bit of ice.
Oh,
went
dude,
down.
I done it like 4
He
weeks
dove with
ago.
one hand instead of two.
Do you need surgery?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay.
So I
So
gotta go
everything-
back every 2 weeks. They take the cast off, do the X-rays, and check. But right now, no. So
Yeah,
let's
that's
hope.
good. That's
Yeah.
great.
I fell in January
On
on my elbow,
Oh.
shoulder, hip.
Jesus.
I was like, oh, Jays, it's very icy over here, honey. And she was like, all right, be careful. And then all of a sudden, I went missing. And she's like, where did he go?
Doesn't take much,
tits over
man.
elbows.
Yep.
There's a great actually ring. I have a ring camera, and I pulled it up, and I was like, oh, Jesus, look at the state. of it.
Yeah.
I wasn't even drinking.
the
It's a Sunday morning.
Probably why you fell.
I
But the
know,
ring-
right?
That's what I said. See,
yes, yes.
said I was sober. That was the problem.
I should have been the lead in Walt Disney on Ice.
The ring camera is the worst and the best in that you get every single thing. How many times I have sat and watched video compilations of people slipping on ice,
Yes.
walking out their door, down the stairs. One guy on the driveway just sliding all the way to the end of the
Yeah.
driveway, right? All this stuff. And I go, I mean, I've lost 20 minutes at least just looking at this bullshit.
down the social media rabbit
Yes,
hole.
it's-
Love that.
It's the
Love it.
worst. It's the worst. Go back to the NCAA for a second. We hear often, and the NFL is always fighting this battle of something being fixed or something being favoritism shown. Is the NCAA a money-driven thing? I mean, to Kevin's point, let's say this tournament pulls in the non-fan. Right? I mean, the non-basketball. We get
It does
those
pull it
guys.
in.
Yes, that's what I'm
But
saying.
they get pulled in no matter what team is there. Not one team is going to be bigger than the rest of it. Everybody's watching because they got the brackets. You know,
Yeah.
they care about it. They said this week it's like 30 billion people in the United States or in the world will watch this tournament and lose time at work because of it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, now it used to be that people would. I remember years ago doing radio in the afternoon from somewhere on Mount Hope Avenue, and I think it was a distillery. and guys would be sitting at the bar with a bag over their head because there were TV cameras as well coming in. Now you don't have to. It comes on your phone.
Right.
You don't need it.
Right.
You don't need anything. You can just watch right at work. You can put it in another window in your computer.
It was the same in Vegas. Like I was out in Vegas recruiting, and they have like massive screens
everywhere,
and everything's rolling. Like the little ticket thing's rolling. It looks like the stock exchange.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's all betting.
It's all betting.
It's all betting.
And like,
it's all
to
it
be
is.
fair, I can't stand betting. I don't like betting at all.
Why?
Because my dad grew up and he loved the horses. So
horses is a big thing.
Back in Ireland, England, the ponies are like, Grand National.
Yeah.
Like Cheltenham just was on last week. Like people just go down to the bookies and just book. Like put here's €5, £5. I'm gonna do an accumulator. And Jay-Z used to be yelling at the TV. And there's not even a football game on, a soccer game. And I'd be like, what are you like? Why are you yelling? Like I'd get like, get out, I'm watching TV. Like the horses are on. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Dad, I'm 26 now. I'm joking. So I never got into horses. Like some of the lads will go back, they'll go to some of the different horse festivals, like racing festivals and stuff like that back in Ireland and back in Scotland as well, and in England. And it's like I don't see the appeal.
I could get into that I remember going to Saratoga once. Did you go to Saratoga too?
I have not been to Saratoga.
Yeah, I remember going to Saratoga, and you can get into it there.
Dressed up.
Yeah, well, yes.
Like the girls wearing fascinators, they look like they're going to a wedding.
I think usually just for the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah,
no, Saratoga gets that way.
Yeah,
too,
Saratoga does.
Yeah.
Yep, in August. You're right.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I just don't get the bet.
When we took Ray to school, we were down there, and there's a track not far from the Kentucky Derby, but there's a smaller one, and we went there on a Sunday just for the hell of it. And we walked in, we're like, shit, we're way underdressed. All these people are dressed to the nines.
Are you still wearing your cast?
No. And it was like, holy shit. So we grabbed drinks, and she says to the guy, we're really underdressed. He goes, just drink some of these. You'll be fine. No one's going to know any different. But like, it was fun. But man, it was a Sunday afternoon. There had to be 500-600 people. They're all dressed to the nines.
Well, you're talking about about 500 or 600 people. In Cheltenham, it's shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
And it's like they're all wearing suits. They're all dressed up, top hat and tails and everything. It's crazy.
Who owns most of the horses that race there? Are they Saudi-owned horses?
Probably English, Irish.
English and Irish. Okay.
Maybe some Saudi. Some
American. I don't know,
American.
because I always think that I hear more and more Saudi getting involved in horse racing.
They're getting involved in every sport.
Yeah, motor racing too.
Yeah, motor racing, soccer. They're actually like obviously Cristiano Ronaldo
went. Much money.
Yeah, they just have unlimited
the money
amount
is
of money.
Like.
I want that job.
It's a bottomless pit over there.
I definitely want that job.
Right. Just dig another well.
Just dig another well.
Dig another well.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, they just look. They did the whole live thing. Was Saudi based.
Well, Ronaldo. We were talking about this at work.
Yeah.
We were talking about just ridiculous sports contracts.
Yeah.
He's getting like $1 billion, and that's not even.
And it's tax free.
That's nothing for him because of his endorsements.
Tax free. Don't pay tax on it.
You don't?
No, nothing. Like my buddy actually flies for Emirates. So he's a pilot with Emirates. He flies the big Ford engine, like 380s, the A380s. Doesn't pay tax.
Because they all, it's all from where you originate, right?
So he moved from Dublin, Ireland, and went to live. He's living in Dubai. He doesn't pay taxes.
See? Americanized fucked it up again.
Americans, damn you.
Americans fuck everything up.
How did that happen?
I don't know.
And it's
don't ask me.
It's safe. It's clean, from what I understand. I've never been. I've never been. I've only read.
Greg, a very, very good friend of mine. Actually, like he's on my radio station that I have back in Ireland, and he's been flying for 10, 15 years now, and he just got a job with Emirates probably 2 or 3 years ago, and he's like literally doesn't pay taxes.
That's
good for him.
And he's a pilot. He's a second in command.
Really?
Yeah. He sends me pictures all the time, man. I'm like, dude, just leave me alone. Just disgust me.
All right, we'll take a moment. We've talked a lot about the tariff, I think, in the past, but there's a tariff and something that somebody pointed out, and I didn't even realize that could maybe turn most Americans' minds around not wanting these tariffs. We'll get to that right after this. Always love the song, but he is Northern Ireland. It's not a good thing.
Now listen, Ireland's Ireland.
Yeah.
No matter which way you
You
look.
son of a bitch.
To bring up, I'm getting got PTSD now.
Oh, here's a free one for the game tonight.
Before the wind,
Oh, really? Sorry.
also younger than the sun.
Well, sláinte, everyone. Have a drink.
Yeah, the bonnie boat was one as we sail into the mystic.
You're drinking water. I'm not cheering. Essential water.
Essential water.
I can now hear the sailors cry.
One of my favorite
Smell the
things from
sea and
Van Morrison was people
feel the
yelling
sky.
out like Brown Eyed Girl at a concert and some other stuff, and
Let
he
your
just screamed at him,
soul and spirit
I don't play those fucking songs no more. And he
Why
just
did you
started-
say that in a Scottish accent, Bill? That's what I want to know.
That was my attempt at
If it's not Scottish, it's crap.
It was my attempt
It's either
at an
Scottish or Australian, I hear.
And I always thought that to me was one of the greatest things ever. If you get to the point where you can yell at the people that pay to see you and they want to hear their favorite hits, and you can turn around and go, I don't play those fucking songs no more. I think it's amazing.
Well, it's kind of like that English comedian, Jimmy Carr. I don't know if you
Yeah, I know.
unbelievable. Like, I think he's hilarious. So there was a video he posted the other day on TikTok or something like that, and this woman turned around and was like, "I'm leaving. This is not great." And he was like, "Yeah, are you okay? Like, what's making you mad?" And he was like talking to her for a minute, and she was like, "Can I get my money back?" And he goes, "No, don't fucking give her her money back. Like, sorry,
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah,
I don't get paid on attempts." So
By the way, Dominic says, what's cracking, bro?
yeah. Dominic, good mate of mine from New York. So there's loads of people in the chat already. I'm just looking at.
James says, Coach taught me all the Irish words, thirsty and Thursday.
Yeah. So that's another one. It's kind of like everybody will say, like, Jays, I'm thirsty. But it's the day after Wednesday as well. Thursday.
Have you ever gone full Irish on like a referee just to fuck with them?
Oh,
Like, just start swearing at him in like Gaelic.
no,
or Irish?
I wouldn't swear him, but like I would lose me temper a little bit. Some of the referees are not great over here in the US. Like, and even like the English lads, like, coach, like, that wasn't a foul. I'm like, I know it wasn't a foul. You know it wasn't a foul. Him, not so much.
Well, yeah, it's
So-
not.
But it's, to be fair, like, it's just the game is different. The American game for football, soccer is way different compared to back in Europe.
We fucked it up again.
Yep.
Well, think of it this way, right? FIFA,
Yeah.
the international like body
Talk about a
for soccer, right?
problem in there.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
well, brown bags.
They let
and-
North Carolina in.
Yeah, they actually were the ones that actually let North Carolina into the tournament.
They
So,
sent their vote in.
so like brown bags, brown envelopes, all of that going through. But like FIFA is the national, international body for soccer.
Yeah.
But then you come to America, and it's the NCAA have one rule.
They
the
do.
The NCAA women have another rule. The USL has the FIFA rule. The MLS has the FIFA rule, and the schoolboy soccer has the FIFA rule. High school has a different rule compared to college.
That's ridiculous.
Why?
It's the same thing with hockey. We have Tyler's travel team plays
Same
USA hockey,
Same with
but
basketball.
high school plays a different set of rules.
The International Federation is FIBA.
That's what it should
Why
be.
do you guys change everything compared to?
Because we'd have to fuck it up and Americanize it.
We don't trust you guys. We all left there.
Listen, I don't drink anything. Like, what are you talking about?
So, like the men's and women's teams that compete nationally for this, obviously for gold and everything, they have to learn all these rules because a lot of them don't learn them.
So
growing up.
women's NCAA basketball has a different rule compared to the men's.
Stupid.
Like even the referee, like when you do a 3-man rotation in referees for women's basketball, if you call a foul, you stay bench side. In basketball for men's, you go opposite.
Oh,
And even high school, you go opposite.
I didn't know that.
But last year they just changed it to men's for college. For men's college, you stay on the women's side. Like, it's the women's rule. It's the women's rotation mechanic.
Huh.
But like,
weird.
why do it? Why not just have it for FIBA? It's 8 seconds, 8 seconds backcourt violation for FIBA. 24 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, yeah.
Why do you guys need to do 35 seconds
I agree.
for a country that wants high scoring,
Right.
why do that?
Because we have to
You
put
have
our
to
stamp on.
Americanize
Well,
it.
we have to put our
Yeah,
stamp on it. I mean,
exactly.
it almost feels that way. Like we're trying to put our stamp on whatever that is.
Yeah, it's mental. I don't understand it.
I did see something today, and I'll ask you. First of all, somebody did text message in, and it's all in Gaelic. Cad E and Sarah
That-
Mochara.
That was Jamie
Yes. Mulholland?
Mulholland. Yeah, is a mate of mine from Florida. So Macara means friend. I can't see it right now what the total was, but I know Macara means friend.
Okay.
So it's like, how are you, my friend, or
Oh,
something.
okay.
Like that.
Something nice.
Some- Yeah, he's not.
Me
trust me.
friends- me friends
We'll
are
put the
fucking assholes.
translation.
I just always think that it's going to be something nasty. I don't know.
My friend's an asshole.
Actually, you know what? I'll probably be able to pull it up on my page because I did share it, and he's probably talking on my share, and then I'll be able to see exactly. What it is.
I will say that I did see today that a survey says that I thought it was, I know, probably 65. I don't know why I'm thinking in my head 75% of Americans believe that America is on the right track more than it has been in the past 20 years right now. And I would ask you, internationally, when you see this stuff with Trump, how is he viewed outside? If you talk to people back home, how is he viewed?
I can show you the text from 2016.
Yeah.
So one of my friends said, "What the fuck did you guys just do back in 2016?"
Yeah, I just
And
think
I was like,
this
I
version
thought it was deadly. I was like, this is brilliant.
yeah.
He's gonna go, "You're fired. You're fired. You're fired." And I think me personally, when I look at things like that, I want, if I'm living in a certain area, like, so for example, if I'm back in Ireland, I want the Irish country to be prosper.
Yeah.
Like I want it to be going in the right direction.
Right.
And I think sometimes you have to take a step back
Yep.
to go forward.
I agree.
Right. So I feel with how America is after voting, they're tired of what's after happening.
Mm.
And now they want to change.
Yep.
So like for me, it's, we'll see after 4 years.
I think it's a step back for 2025. I agree.
Yeah.
And I think from there it'll be forward.
Yeah.
You got to fix the problems.
Right. And I think the tariff does some of that
And I
to a
think the
certain
tariffs
degree.
are going to be more of a threat. That's a negotiating ploy.
I was the same
Sure.
as like Canada. We're like, oh, well, we're going to stick another 25%.
Right.
All right, well, we're going to stick
I
100.
hear they're doing
100%.
that on.
And they're like,
Exactly.
oh, sorry, we're taking all the tariffs off.
I hear they're doing that on Pornhub. Pornhub's a Canadian
They're gonna shut Pornhub off.
website.
Kevin,
Yeah.
what are you going to do, man?
Well, that's what I said. I go, well, don't we have in the United States? I didn't know this. X Hamster. I've never been there. I didn't even. Anybody look at X Hamster?
I've seen it.
What's
okay.
X-Hamster?
A friend turned me on to it not too long ago.
Hold on.
Well, it's American, my friend. So you're
Hold on. X-Hamster, I take it as a porn site.
yes.
So
It's
a
based in the
friend
US.
turned you onto
Yeah.
it.
It was a female,
Is
not a
that, is,
male.
that a play, is that a play on words?
But I didn't realize how many porn sites are Canadian based.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
I feel
didn't know.
now I'm going to tell you, like as a European, I think the Canadians are way more liberal about their sexual conquests or whatever you want to call it than Americans are.
Oh, I think the whole world is.
Like-
Because there ain't shit to do up there.
Yeah, maybe, but I think the whole world is
Like
a lot more.
a friend of mine was telling me she lives in Vancouver, and she was in a bathroom, and all of a sudden, like this penis came through a hole, and she's
What?
like, "What?
That's called a glory hole, Bill.
Yeah, yeah,
No, wait. Where was this?
Vancouver.
In Vancouver.
Yeah."
Really?
And I was like, "What did you do?" She was like, "Ew, ew, ew," in a really Irish accent. And I was like, "Well, I feel the Canadians are very more in tune with their sexual exploits."
It's cold.
What? Yeah. I that is pretty odd though that it would come through a glory hole in the bathroom.
I was like, and this
I
was in
never
a
heard
group
of
chat.
that.
What kind of
This
bar
is
was
a-
she at?
Yeah.
This was in a group chat.
Huh?
This was in a group chat with like all of our friends. Like,
Oh, she's
and I was
telling
like,
every.
what? Everybody's
crazy.
like, what?
Haven't been
Really?
once at BTB. I just walked out.
Well, how about Ireland? Ireland uptight with that stuff?
Well, Ireland's actually very forward thinking. I would say that Ireland follows how New York usually does things.
Hmm.
So back when the smoking ban came in years and years and years ago,
Yeah.
New York was the first state in the US to go through the smoking ban. like eliminated from bars, restaurants, and stuff like that. But Ireland was the first country in the world.
Oh,
So when New York went, for gay marriage, Ireland was like, we'll just do it across the whole country.
really?
So it was literally about 2 months later. Ireland was like, we're doing it.
Is Ireland a big smoking country?
Used to be. But see, I feel there's all this vape stuff. Is like, I just think it's
Where are they on the weed?
always on the ganja.
Is that legal over there or no?
No,
That's not.
no, I don't think so.
No.
I haven't been there in I haven't lived there in 20 years.
Yeah.
How dare you ask me that question?
No weed, but they can just say they just blow lines in the bathroom.
So we don't do like the way you guys do weed, where it's like kind of the bud. We do hash.
Oh,
So it's like
yeah, hash is
baked.
different.
Yeah,
I like
it's
that.
stronger.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh,
I was a hash fan.
oh,
Smoked in Spain.
dude,
Very good.
absolutely out of my head.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Just cabbaged.
Yeah, it's freaking great. What was it when you worked hospitality when the smoking ban came in New York? Big deal. I remember it
People
being
bitched.
Big
Oh,
deal.
yeah, people bitched about it.
But did it cut into business? No.
No.
And
It was
in the
one of
end,
those
I
things
think
that
it
took
probably
like
picked up
It was like
business.
a month or so where it finally turned around. People were pissed off at first, but then it just became normal.
Yeah, and you weren't going home smelling like you stood next
If
to
somebody,
a campfire.
like for instance, somebody like me who doesn't smoke, it was the greatest thing you could ever do.
Sure. Right.
The same.
And now you think about it, like you go into a restaurant and somebody was smoking, it'd be terrible.
If you go into North Carolina, like where I think you can still
do,
smoke,
yeah.
it's almost it's almost jarring because it's been so long.
I should ask my buddy DJ was in Charlotte this weekend. I should ask him if there was smoking in the bars there.
Yeah, I don't
'Cause
know if
if
they've
it still
changed it.
exists or not.
I don't think
maybe
there's in
it's
Charlotte
maybe it's in some of the bigger cities where they don't want you to smoke in bars.
Could be.
because I know Charlotte. You had to go outside.
Yeah, and I was in Raleigh about 5-6 years ago, and they didn't allow smoking inside.
Oh,
So
they
it might
didn't?
only be certain areas.
Oh, because I was in.
Only Waffle House.
I'm going.
Waffle House, yeah.
I'm probably going there. I'm
If you don't smoke Waffle House, they throw you the fuck out.
early 2000s, and it was in that triad
Yeah.
area. Yeah,
And they definitely did back then.
yeah.
Because it
Early
was a shock
2000s.
to us. 'cause
It's
what the
like
hell?
early 2000s. I was like, what?
But it's
Yeah.
just, it's crazy that you could just smoke on planes.
Yeah.
Now you
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
turn your cell phone on, but you can smoke a cigarette on a
Right.
plane.
Yeah, like the tar in the cigarette is not going to mess with any of the
Right.
instruments
Right.
over the course of 15 years.
Not at all. Don't worry about it.
None, zero.
We make all these dumb rules, but what about Ireland in terms of prude or not prude? When we say, because I remember having neighbors from Sweden, and these girls that were young. They go, "Mom, we're going to an American beach. You have to keep your top on." Where over there, and not so much maybe Sweden, but anywhere in Europe, you would have to travel to.
So you
Spain
can
or
go
whatever.
to Spain, yeah. There's like naked beaches and stuff.
And
like
it's
that in
not
Spain.
even really like it's not. It's just what it is. We're here, man.
But the kids.
We go and peek,
Well, I'm
and
gonna
it's
tell-
always big, fat, ugly.
So I was living in Gran Canaria, which is off the coast of Morocco. I was there for about just under a year. I think it was like 11 months, 10 months.
Couldn't even stay that full year. That sounds gorgeous. There.
Yeah, it was crazy. So the thing for me, a lot of my mates came over. I was only there about 3 or 4 weeks, and they were all like, "Oh, let's go down to the beach." So we ended up on the beach, but we ended up in the naked beach.
Uh-huh.
So there was like what you were saying, like ugly,
Yeah.
big
Dicks
Yeah.
and balls.
wieners, sticks and balls,
Yeah. Yeah.
boobies hanging out.
Yeah.
Like I ended up falling asleep, and I woke up like a Reese's Pieces bar.
Woke up next to the glory hole.
I was like, why I'm covered like in blisters and everything.
Oh.
Like none of the lads wanted to wake me up or nothing and say, "Hey, listen, roll over." Like they don't. They're like, "Fuck them." They don't care. So, to be honest, prudish, I don't think the Irish are at all.
No, I don't think so either. But
No. We're
yeah.
too outgoing to be prudish.
yeah, and there's always
We're not introverts. Like Irish, you might find a couple of introverts in Ireland.
yeah.
Probably more than a couple, but we're all we just love to have a laugh. And
Well, I always think that it's the intro extra kind of combo. For some
Yes.
people need to
Yes.
recharge, and so
Yeah.
they'll go away for a little while. But overall, it's loud and it's
obnoxious.
nah, I don't know about that, but yeah, it could be, I
Yeah.
guess. But fun.
Oh,
but
yeah,
fun.
definitely
Always
fun.
a good fun.
Definitely fun.
Like when you were out at Petsing's play, yeah, it had to be a blast.
It was.
Yeah, you get a bunch of.
I've
people
I've met a lot of people from Ireland. I've never met a nasty, mean one. They always seem to be happy and joking and having a good time.
Prick.
Fucking soccer players.
Foot fairies.
Sorry, football.
I have to wear pads.
Wait, did you ever play rugby?
Like just for fun.
Oh,
like,
just
in
for fun.
school,
Yeah.
Just to fuck somebody up real quick.
No, but Dublin was, I thought,
massive rugby.
yeah, massive.
Yeah, that's
Actually one of the lads that I went to school with. He was his name is Garrod, so it's Gary in Gaelic, and ended up. I was like, I want to say I was like a year, 2 years maybe ahead of him in school, and he went home for the summer. Like we went home for the summer. He lived in a different part of where we were, and I didn't really see him that much. And he came back, and he was only like 5'5". I was like 5'10", and he came back, and he was 6'6" when he came back. I was like, "What the happened to you?" Like, and he goes, "Oh, I've been playing rugby." And I says, "What does he do to you? Did he stretch you out?" Talk about being flexible, but come on. Like he was, and he ended up actually getting like a couple of senior caps for Ireland, like at the senior level. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, but he was a monster.
That's a rough sport.
Oh,
That is a rough
but see,
sport.
they
I can't
box-
figure it out.
But they don't wear pads.
No.
Right? They box the head off each other in the rucks and the scrums.
Yeah.
But then, like, right, we're going to the bear.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Right.
We'll have drinks.
They get it all out on the field, and they're like, "All right,
And
no
then that's
beer."
it. Yeah, or they'll
It's
drink.
like hockey.
They pass the boot. Is that only an American thing?
You Americans.
Yeah,
See?
they
Another
drink
thing
that
we
way.
fucked up.
Scratch me head a little bit.
Boy, America sucks.
we're passing the boot. We're doing the thing. We don't even have our own porn. Well, ex-hamster, I guess is the thing. There's a lot of
I've never
independent.
heard of that place.
No, I never did either.
Is this in Rochester?
No, it's
That's
close.
Tally Ho.
But
Oh, Barrel of Dolls. Is that the one?
Oh boy,
Oh,
yeah.
You need a
God.
penicillin shot before you go in.
That's
Yes.
why we have Canadian porn.
I think there used to be people who would advertise for girls to star in porn on Craigslist locally. Because I remember reading.
Yeah,
they
if
were-
I
I'm
put
sure
that,
they were
I
real,
put
too.
that ad out once a week. No, didn't get any hits, but
Kevin
I put
was
that
the
ad out once a
director.
week.
I just couldn't figure out why I kept going to Hillman's phone.
ding, ding. But there was ads, and there was some guy out of Buffalo, and he would come down and film these girls. And I was always surprised that some girl, they wanted to do it, man.
They think they're going to get rich.
It must be. It must be. Now
How would you
someone
know it's real or not?
I couldn't
See,
tell
let's-
you.
when the man puts the thing in the
But I mean, if it's real porn, or
Like
not.
legit, like porn company. Like he just shouldn't get his rocks off. Like,
Yeah.
friend of ours.
Yeah.
well, like I even like I think of this as well. Like not think about like a little bit logical when it comes to the players that I coach or like in general. You'd have a random person come up and start taking pictures with long lenses, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'd say to my assistant coach, like, can you go ask him like what he's doing? And he's like, oh, I'm a sports photographer. I'm like, yeah, you got to get permission.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah, that's
just take,
fucked up.
yeah, you can't just take pictures. And we just jog them on,
Yeah.
like jog on, like you can't be doing that.
Yeah.
So that's
Does it-
it's
Yeah.
it's a bit weird. Like
It is a bit
Yeah.
weird.
you Americans are crazy.
Well,
Canadians too.
I'm moving to Ireland. Fuck this place.
Yeah.
The weather's shittier there than it is
Oh,
here.
that's true, but
well,
I
to be
can't deal
fair,
with
to
that.
be- it's all right. It's not doesn't snow.
yeah.
But it's dreary a lot, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like it's you know what?
What you
when I-
drink?
listen, when I was in Finland, I'm gonna tell you, like it was 4:15 in the morning, and we were coming home, and it was like 9 o'clock in the morning, like the sun is out splitting the trees, and it was about 2 hours 15, 2 hours 30 minutes of dusk.
And
So-
then right back to
So it goes dark, and then it goes like 15 minutes later, it goes to dusk for about 3 hours, and then it goes straight into sunlight at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Huh.
And I tell you, those people during the winter, highest rate of suicide.
Oh, I bet.
Sure.
Highest
I didn't.
rate of
I,
suicide.
why I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I feel
highest
like
rate
it'd
of
be right
suicide.
there with Alaska.
And the further north you go, so we were about we were in the National Training Center in Finland,
Mhm.
and it was called Viramaki, and it was like
That's Finnish for hamster.
it's actually finished for Hamster X. So we were up there training, and it was unbelievable. Like I went out playing golf like at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
A
crazy.
load of us, like We finished at the bar. At
I
1.
didn't realize that how north they were because I mean that's Alaska too,
Yeah.
right? In terms of that, maybe
But Ireland's on the kind of the same line as Canada when it comes to like it doesn't get dark until 11:30 at night over in Ireland.
really. Huh. So you go out and raise all kinds of hell to
Oh, well, I tell you what, it was the weirdest thing because once the streetlights came on, if you were younger,
yeah.
those streetlights came on and you were like 4 or 5 streets away.
Yeah.
You better get on your bike straight away. You had to get back as quick as you can. So those lights came on, you weren't home. Oh, whipping.
That doesn't happen anymore.
No,
Not around here.
no.
Not in America. We're not allowed
No.
to do that
No.
at all. It's another thing we fucked up, Matt.
That's all we do. We just fuck things up.
All right, Kevin has a game, and the game is where we have to get the art. He'll play a song. We have to name the quietly on our own. Write it down. The artist and the title, and then we also do
The year,
that the song came out.
and there was a bonus question this year for
Is
a.
this all the answers?
That was from the last one. But
There's a movie song theme song or song from a movie that you can get points for getting the movie if you nail that one.
Okay. All right. We will get to all that right after this.
2 freebies on the game.
All right, hang on.
Slut. Hamster loving slut.
I always like Bob Geldof. Pretty sure. Yeah. This song is based on what I believe was the first school shooting in America. It was a girl in San Diego in like 76, 77. And when they asked her why she did it, she said, I don't like Mondays.
Boomtown Rats.
Yeah. Boomtown Rats.
Oh,
I like Bob Geldof. No? Not a fan. How about you two?
so I actually can't stand you two.
I know. I knew that. Why?
And the reason why, and it's any Irish musician. So Ireland doesn't allow musicians to pay tax.
They don't? You're kidding.
No. And if you're a musician in Ireland, you don't pay tax on your money.
Okay.
So whatever you make, you make.
Yeah.
So obviously you too.
I mean, they went global, right?
Oh, 100%.
Boomtown Rats did.
Global. Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, a little bit.
You know, like 20.
Well, they
30,
forced their album on all of us through Apple that one time.
Yeah,
That's
400 shows in the Sphere in Vegas.
Oh, that's
like,
right.
You know, like you two last year. Jesus.
But I imagine when they play in the U.S., it's just like a football player. They got to pay the taxes to the
They
U.S.,
don't
right?
because
No?
they pay the company.
Oh.
Smart. And the
And
company's
they-
not based in the U.S.,
It's
even though
based
they're
in
working
Ireland.
in U.S.
Wow. Look at this. Why don't you just go as a musician, bro?
Dude, I couldn't.
Why couldn't
I can hardly hold
Yeah, you're a
myself.
bongo
up.
player.
Never mind the chord.
Bongo player.
Bongo player. Where'd you come up with that?
I don't know. I was just thinking of
Drum
something.
circle.
He went through those fake Irish bars this
Yes.
week and he saw it.
What's this thing where they play the bongos and they're holding it in the side?
Well, Kevin was out. We did the parade on Saturday.
We did?
And then we went up at.
I saw you. I saw you.
I know. I
Saw
heard.
video. You
I
said
was
it.
like, you bastards never even sent me an invite. The only Irish person truly to walk
Yeah,
the parade.
right?
It's-
You think they'd want to be with you.
It's kind of unfair.
What
There's no
the heck?
invite needed. Just show up.
Just show up.
They
What
don't
did he
invite
know
another
it was
fucking American, but they should at least invite the Irish guy.
Exactly.
Right?
It's our bleeding holiday.
You should have just jumped the gate and walked with us.
Oh, that
I
would've
wasn't
been
jumping
great.
the gate. It'd probably put me back or something like that.
Well, what happened? What did you do there?
We got there early because we wanted to park, and we parked toward the end, so we don't have to walk all the way back to the beginning of the parade. So we walk up the first, and we're a bar. It's me, Purse Pisser, my wife, and 2 of my 3 kids.
Yeah.
So me, Purse Pisser, my oldest Sam, who's 20. We're sitting there having a couple drinks, and there's this one bartender. She was just smoking hot, just like the hottest bartender I've seen in years.
Sorry, what bar was this? I just want to write this down.
So that there's such a busy day. They've got 2 different bars going. So
Yeah.
we're in the side bar. So my little one can play air hockey and just keep him entertained. And we're sitting there, and this hot bartender just walks past us. And my buddy looks at me and goes, "Did you just fucking shit, dude?" The hot bartender went from a 9.5 to a 5 because she crop dusted us. So either she farted or her vagina stunk really bad. One of the two.
Ay, ay, ay.
It was awful. It hung. You could
Next
ask.
segment, Bill. Next
You
segment.
could ask Ray. It hung for
And
like
again, this is
a
why
minute and a half.
Canada has all the porn.
I think you're right. But now I do know somebody who told me as a woman who said, "Oh, I've been
No,
drinking."
you really can't gender identify.
Well,
anymore,
yeah,
like, you
I know, but
Yeah.
but she said I've been drinking beer and it does give me gas. She goes, I've just been crop dusting, and then she all of a sudden I hear, "Uh-oh," and the smell it hit you, and then it just dissipated pretty quickly. But I was like, God damn!
I think chicks do it in bars because they know they're not going to get blamed. They're going to look at a guy like him or a guy like me and they'd be like, "It was definitely that guy."
So it was her
Hold,
Shamrock
whoa, 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 whoa.
What's that?
It was
oh, you
her
farted in a
Shamrock
bar.
Jacks.
You farted in a bar.
Oh, did you get a couple
What the
there?
fuck do
too?
you
No,
mean?
that was Laura.
Yeah. I was gonna say, no wonder Joe was walking away.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with the pictures.
I did learn something today. I don't know if you knew this. And today is Danny Ainge's birthday. Danny Ainge
Oh.
was, I think he played for the Celtics
and
and
the
won,
Suns.
and then he played for the Suns. And I know they got to the championship against the Bulls, but they lost. But Danny Ainge, I did not know this, played in 212 Major League Baseball games as a Toronto Blue Jay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I had no idea.
No shit.
Yes, prior to playing professional basketball, played professional. Did you know this?
It's no, I know there's a lot of professional athletes that were all Because baseball back in the day used to have like 200 rounds of draft.
Yeah,
Because there's so many different levels and leagues.
but we go
Like
on
John
about
Elway was drafted. Tom Glavine
Yeah.
was drafted.
and he wasn't bad.
Hockey
Like he
players
played
were
from
drafted.
79 to 81, I think, for the Blue Jays. And I go, we make such a big deal out of Michael Jordan going and doing it.
Right.
We made a huge
Jackson.
deal out of Bo Jackson in
Deion
football, but
Sanders.
those and Deion Sanders. No one, I've never heard of the Danny,
No.
and he didn't do it at the same time.
No, much earlier.
Yeah, well, right. He played baseball first, then
I see what you're saying.
then basketball.
Not at the
What
same
I'm
time.
saying is like
What was it? It was
Deion
also-
was playing two sports at the same time,
Yeah,
so was
Bo.
It was
But-
a much different time, though. You didn't have that one specializing in,
No.
I'm playing nothing but tennis, or I'm playing nothing but
Well,
golf.
they
You
couldn't.
had
They didn't make enough money back.
and you had in the winter,
Yeah.
you played in the fall, you played football, in the spring, you played baseball.
I'm going to tell you that there's actually no person in Ireland or Europe that would actually be able to do that on a professional level.
Play two
Well,
sports.
do not
Never.
no.
Never.
Was it all because it was so focused from the time you were little, or no?
I would say, yeah, that would probably
Yeah.
be it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you would never see someone turn around and saying, all right, I'm going to play football as a pro, and then I'm going to take 2 years or 3 years as a sabbatical and go play tennis on the
Yeah.
ATP
Yeah.
tour.
It's just how you're brought up, right? We have all different.
You would get
sports
the shit knocked
yeah,
out of you.
Where football is your sport.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah, I just I was like, wow, look
That's
at this
crazy.
Danny
He's a
Ainge.
little bitch, anyways.
Yeah, he was a whiner, was he
He
not?
was
When
a
he played,
whiner.
he was a pretty
He was
good.
a whiner.
He was a pretty good GM, I thought,
He
for
was.
the Celtics.
Yeah.
He's now with the Utah Jazz, and I think they have the worst record in the
Yeah.
NBA. But I was like, wow, I had no idea.
Yeah, I had no idea that either.
I find that very impressive, and I always think if you can play at the highest level that you can play at both sports, that's pretty damn good. All right, Kevin's got his game,
all
and
right, let's go.
it's a point.
You get a point for the title, point for the artist, and then Bill can explain the year because he explains it better than I do.
Well, the year, then the
The year the song was released.
So you try to see. So let's say the year the song was released was 1981. You said 1979. So now you have 2 points. But if you got the title and the artist right, you're at 0. You're at par.
Gotcha.
Okay, because you get a point each for those. That makes sense.
No, it doesn't. We'll figure it out.
I was gonna say it makes sense to him, but the other one couldn't get it last week. He just couldn't figure it out.
Yet he got it the week before. And like I said, it's a free one on this one here because we just played this song.
Shh, that doesn't help me. I hate to tell you.
If anybody's joining in back home, it's Bob Geldof, Boomtown Rats. I don't like Mondays.
There you go, Matt. 2 points. I got to get the year. Now we'll go to the next one. You already played too. And then I'm free and clear for the rest of them.
You know, like Bill needs any help with this game. He played 2 songs that he played.
did it. I had no idea.
I didn't know those. I didn't know he was doing those.
It doesn't really
The only
matter.
reason I
Doesn't
swear,
matter. I'm not even getting close.
the
anyway.
only thing I told him, I go, it's Irish themed.
I thought this was the considered one of the sexiest songs ever written by GQ or somebody did that years ago.
The guy who on Hampstead.
XX Hamster.
Was this available on LimeWire back in the day?
LimeWire, damn. Just gotta guess on the year on that last one. It was like,
Don't forget to write your answer down for 2. We just played it.
On our own. We don't need anything or anyone.
Go on, leave me breathless.
This is unfair. Darren's crushing.
On his pump up mix.
This is actually on my toilet mix.
Because it's an Irishman.
I'm waiting for you only. The slightest touch and I feel weak. I cannot lie.
So like you got this wrapped up.
I don't have it wrapped up. I just know that song.
Somewhere in this town. See, me and the boys, we don't like it. So we're getting up and going down. High and low, looking right to left.
Next one's gonna be from a music or a movie soundtrack. If you can give me the movie it was on, I'll give you an extra 10 points off.
Okay.
Don't throw anything at me either, Darren.
For fuck's sake.
There was only like 9 Irish bands, so I had to pick them at some point.
Yeah, I suck at this game.
If you know the movie it's from, though, you can pull off of that. Can't wait for the all Mexican songs on Cinco de Mayo.
It's changing every day, in every possible way.
And one last one here for you.
Some ballroom queen Memphis. She tried to take me upstairs for a ride. She had to hear the light across her shoulder. 'Cause I just can't seem to drink you off my mind.
Cheers.
She's a home. It's not
Into the mic, please. If you're gonna do it, you might as well do it that way. All right, back to the top.
Okay. Darren?
I'll have a B, please, Bob, for Geldof and the Boomtown Rats. Don't like Mondays. I would say 1984.
I said 81.
I said 79.
You don't like Monday, the Boomtown Rats, 1979.
Wow.
Minus 12 over there.
Fuck off.
So if you
Kev.
got the title and the artist, right?
That's title arts, that's 2. So
and
you're
then I
at
lose
4,
2
so you lose
because I lose
6.
So what am I at?
Or 5, so 2, 3, minus 3.
This
Minus
is the
3.
only time that I am close.
Van Morrison, Into the Mystic.
Didn't even have that.
I'm going to say
Didn't know who he was.
1973.
I said 77.
1970. Van Morrison.
I wasn't even born
Me
then.
neither. Me neither.
You know what? Neither was I. Ha
Shut up, Bill.
Oh, this is the Fray.
It is
Yes.
not the Fray.
Shit.
No,
The Fray are not Irish?
I couldn't. I had no idea.
I actually thought it was the Fray, but I didn't write it down.
Oh.
Anything over there?
For some reason, I thought it was a U2, but it's not.
No, it's not YouTube.
It's Snow Patrol, Chasing Cars.
Oh,
Okay, I
that's
said
right.
2005.
I said 2003.
2002.
2006 for Snow Patrol.
Yes. 4.
Love this song.
I saw your eyes light up.
That's what my ex-girlfriend used to call me. Breathless.
Who sings it? Do you know?
It was the course.
It is the Coors. Breathless.
Oh, I got Breathless. I didn't get Man. I said 2000. Was your girlfriend saying this to you? I said 06, but I bet it's earlier than that.
It is earlier.
Oh,
I think it is. I said 1997.
Man, I said 85. I must be way off.
Coors, Breathless, year Y2K 2000.
Oh, okay.
Plus 6.
Yeah, that was great.
So now I'm
Kevin, you're gonna have to do my scores.
-3 right now. Oh, I know this one.
Tin Lizzy.
Yeah.
I said 1978.
Title?
What's this?
I don't know. I can't remember the title.
Thin Lizzy Jailbreak 76 is what I said.
79.
Then Lizzie, Jailbreak 1976.
Whoa, buddy.
That's a members bounce right there.
Got a Daddy Only score over here. I'll give you -10 for the movie on this one, too.
All right. So this is U2.
U2.
It is U2.
Is it Zooropa?
It is not Zooropa. Almost went with Zooropa. but
I
we used
actually
that one.
thought it was Europa,
Oh, Europa? I couldn't
Yeah.
remember the name.
and I said 1997.
I said 97 as well.
It's Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me from U2 in 1995.
95.
Any guesses on the movie?
I said Zoolander, but I don't know why.
Zoolander.
I think because I thought it was Zooropa.
Sorry,
I'm a merman, not a mermaid.
from Batman Forever. I believe that's the
Oh,
Clooney
oh,
Batman.
yeah.
I actually said Train Spotting.
I believe that's the Clooney Batman. You got anything on this one?
I said the Cranberries Linger 95.
No, it's not Linger. It is the Cranberries.
1993.
1991, the Cranberries. I can't
That's
remember what the name of the
The
song
song
is.
is called
96.
Dreams by the Cranberries in 1992.
Oh, I was 1 year off.
3 years
Jesus.
off. So that means I'm 2 off. No, 4. This is the Pogues, Honky Tonk Woman 83.
It is the Pogues, Honky Tonk Woman,
86.
1988.
I could hear that Shane McGowan.
Linger.
Yeah.
Did it
yeah,
linger?
Yeah.
So it's minus
He
points.
didn't win.
It's the minus. It's minus points for the years, though, right?
Yes.
39.
I don't even know.
I'm only at minus 42.
I'm well over par.
I think I was right in 5-3.
I'm not even close.
Yeah, I had all single digits, so it's nice.
Bill got his BAC. as a
Yes,
score
I
this
did.
week.
I got my BAC as a score this week. Very nice. Darren, what else is happening in your world?
Nothing usual. Just busy with work and
Yeah,
recruiting right now.
and
In the season right now. So we actually had a pretty decent season. We didn't do as well as we thought we would have done in nationals. We won the conference championship. We won the conference regular season championship, and we couldn't score for a lick. We couldn't hit water if we fell out of a boat down at the national tournament. We were terrible. Like, I don't know whether it was just like the pressure of winning it the year before, but it is what it is. Like,
Do you love coaching like
Oh
this?
yeah, I love coaching. Yeah.
Because Matt coached for a while. I think
Did.
Matt could be very
What
good.
did you coach, man?
I coached
Girls
American
volleyball.
football. American
So
football.
hand egg.
Sure.
Sure, perfect.
But I think Matt always enjoyed it. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah,
could
I
see him.
love
yeah.
coaching. Yeah.
Youth girls volleyball.
No, that's one I wouldn't want that either.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that
No.
either. Just the uniforms alone. I wouldn't
Yeah.
know where to look. I'd be
No.
accused of something.
It'd be weird. Yeah.
Yeah, the college game doesn't get any easier. Like, when I was at Cayuga Community College, we had the women's volleyball team, and they would all come in, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at least they're of age.
Yeah. Well, that's true. That is true.
It's not a good look.
No.
It's almost golf season now, so we'll get out there and
Yeah,
swing 'em this year.
McElroy won today.
Yes.
Happy with that.
Okay. So a weird thing, right? The players, not a
Major.
not a major, and yet they held the playoff till today.
Yeah,
'Cause
it
it
was
was
a
raining.
4-hour rain delay yesterday. So when they finished,
Oh.
your man, McElroy and Spawn,
Spawn.
they were talking about like the 15th and 16th hole.
Yeah.
It got really, really dark.
Yeah.
So there must have been a cell that went over.
Okay.
Went over the course and kind of like made it a little bit darker. But when they got to the 18th, he said like they couldn't read the greens as well as they thought they could have.
See,
Spawn came up about 8 inches short. To
No,
win
it wasn't even
yesterday.
8 inches. It was
Less than
probably
that?
about 3 or 4 balls. Like
really,
yeah, it was.
really.
stopped. And
That's the same.
It
as-
was.
That's
it
how
was.
Kevin thinks 8 inches.
Well, doesn't all Americans?
fucked up the metric system too.
It's bigger in America.
It's in
baby.
kilometers.
Ex-hamster said so.
But here's the thing that I would wonder: like, why didn't they go out? I think the 17th hole on that course is
the
pretty
island.
legendary. Yeah.
It's the Island Green.
Why not go and just I don't know, have everybody hold up your cell phone lights or whatever, and you just play. They all knew where the pin was.
Here's
they had
the
just hit that pole 10.
Cell phone lights?
Well, cell phone lights, get some headlights on there, get some
Headlights.
floodlights.
Do you think they're just
cars
going to
up
start
on
driving
the-
cars?
This is
Bill.
Floodlights.
Behave.
This is why you haven't made your first million yet.
See, listen, over in the Middle East, they have like golf courses with floodlights on them.
Yeah,
you can
that's what I'm
play all the
saying,
way
like,
through
I'm
at night.
surprised there's not somebody
Yeah.
here that's done that.
I am too.
I am surprised they don't have lights out there.
El
Bill wants to bring
Genesee
cars
Valley.
out there. He's
Well,
going to
it's
fuck up
anything.
something else as an American.
Or tried to way to kind of dome it so you can have it in the winter too.
Matt, they'd have
Hey,
to
I'm all
close.
about domes. You know this.
They'd have to close that course forever, right? Because you'd be rebuilding and doing anything.
Oh my God.
Well, at least for the season. All right. Well, it was a pleasure to see you again, Darren.
Bill, pleasure's all yours.
Yes, it is, and I'd like to have you back sometime. Matt, always great as usual. BTB, get out there with the tournament kicking off on Thursday, but also the playing games. They're always fun to watch, and that's tomorrow, and then again on Wednesday, and the tournament kicks off
Thursday and Friday is America's St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, well,
Used to be a lot bigger than it is, though.
I know, and I think that's because everybody can watch wherever
Yeah,
they are,
yeah.
and it used to be. You're right, because it was fun. It was like a holiday.
Right. It's on everybody's phone now.
Yeah, it's on everybody's phone. But why not go out at least the weekend? Get out there
Yeah.
and watch with buddies, have those
Brunch.
shareables.
Get out there for brunch.
Yeah, it's always a good time
crazy.
at BTB. And for Kevin Muir and another killer game, I'm Bill Moran. We'll
Who
see
won?
you tomorrow. I did.
Oh, Bill won it by a landslide.
Members
it.
bounce.
What's that
Members
mean?
bounce.
It's because we put the lights on and flash it so you can see.
It was Morse code. We'll see you tomorrow.
I woke up in a hotel, didn't know what to do. I turned the TV on and wrote a letter to you. The news was talking about